Right, I've got to be honest. I am really politely cheesed off. In fact, got myself a beer and I've decided to have a vape because I am really cheesed off. I don't know if anyone has seen our last podcast episode about the CMS. If you haven't, obviously feel free to check it out. If you're affected by the system, there's so much other content out there, whether it be YouTube and other materials. If you're not, find out about it, because really we all need to wake up. I mean, people talk about the post office scandal, obviously a little bit less now to what it was. But damn, the CMS is so corrupt. Our government, as we all know, we're finding out on the media at the moment about all the things going on, the scandals, the child. I don't even know what can actually even be put technically live on YouTube, but the physical scandals to do with children and the government and stuff. What's going on within the CMS is just unbloody believable. I mean, collectively, people are stupid. Individuals, fairly smart. But the majority of people will just follow people, like whatever the mass is doing. I'm going to do that. I won't question anything. I'm just going to carry on with whatever narrative is fed to us. And let's face it, going back to school, we was all back then indoctrinated, right? We were just told stuff. Simple things, right? So the bell goes, start of school. Brilliant. The bell goes, you go out and play. The bell goes, you got lunch. The bell goes, your final break. The bell goes again, and that's home time. And in between that is where they just indoctrinate you with little things. And don't be wrong, when you're young, it's starting off your colouring and stuff like that. And let's face it, even that alone, right? So let's say now you say to a child, right, draw me a picture of a firefighter, right? What are they going to draw? They're probably going to draw a fire engine and a male firefighter. There's no woman there, no nothing. Right, okay. Right, draw me a picture of a ballet dancer. Okay, they're going to probably draw a woman in a dress, probably colour it in pink, whatever, fair enough, fine. Draw me a picture of a parent and a baby. Probably know where I'm going with that. The mum's there. Fathers don't exist. And don't be wrong, you're probably going to get a few children that draw their family as they see it with their brothers, their sisters, their hamsters in there somewhere, But the majority of the time, it's just the mum and a child. And don't be wrong, I've got no issues with that. That's fine. But this is what I'm on about indoctrination. So over X amount of years, you build up an expectation. With that, when it then comes to an actual family life, right, so you've got your mum, your dad. You obviously need both to have children. And even how woke things have got now, it doesn't matter if you identify as a woman, because you can't have two women that then have a baby without other scientific methods taking play. The same as you can't have two blokes, because one of them has to have a uterus. Hey, I'm not intending to offend anyone. That's science. All right? Let's just get that out there. So, the world has gone mental that you even have to bring that up. But each to your own. If you're offended, just shut it off. Not much you can say, is there? Right? So, you've got this indoctrination level of what people expect. So now you've got your family, right? You've had your kids. And from a government perspective, let's just say you want to take control of certain matters, right? So you don't want strong families, strong people. Mainly, a lot of them are going to be men. Doesn't matter if you're black, white, whatever. You're going to look after your family, right? So, what do? You weaken it. So, the later stuff, obviously what we're seeing today is this trans ideology there, right? So, you're indoctrinating children to just, right, we're starting off with it, well, it's normal, we need to be inclusive and include all these people, rather than actually offer mental help. You've got people outside clapping, oh, well done for coming out. No. you're weakening units. So when these youngsters, especially the boys, those are the main targets, and they are targets, right? Is they're going to get older, not really understand who they are, or they're going to have friends that have gone down there. They're now, what they call them, felines, cat people, furries, right? You got furries, whatever. I mean, all these things are possible. And for those that don't know, as I found out from my children's school in secondary school, they've got several furries, right? So these are people that believe they're cats, and no one's actually told them that cats don't actually go to school. But just saying, I don't fully understand. There's something going on mentally. Fluoride in the water, the lot. I mean, hey, we're just conspiracy theorists. There's something going on in there. So, fuck's sake, there is just so much. You start losing your mind. So you indoctrinate people to weaken the family unit. So these people are going to grow up. They're not going to protect the families. Maybe not even have families. So the population is going to start going down anyway, right? But we'll wind back from the younger generations yet to grow up to so much of a worse system than what we're in currently at the moment. And we're just letting it happen collectively. So this is, again, collectively, we're stupid. Collectively, you've got systems running against us. Right? So if you weaken the family unit, the government has more control. If you remove fathers from a family unit, and that's basically what fathers are. Enough of this masculinity bollocks, because most of it is, yes, there are fucking nasty people out there, nasty blokes, nasty women, whatever, right? But masculinity, no. With that, you actually get people that look after their families, look after their wives, their girlfriends, their children, and they won't take crap from other forms of society that directly affect their family. Collectively, we generally don't stand up for people that you don't know. You hear something in the media or the paper or second or third hand through someone, and it's like, oh, well, that's sad. Yeah, don't do anything. Yeah. It's a point in case for CMS, right? So, as was described, obviously, in that podcast, and again, it's not all women, right? There's a lot of them where people have just turned their backs and walked off. Like whether you're male, female, whatever. It's not right. But the CMS generally don't care about those cases, and I'm pretty sure there's people out there now that would probably agree with that, because it's like, well, actually, I just want what I'm owed. They want nothing generally to do with the kids, right? But what I'm talking about are the people that decide to cut you off from the kids, from your children, from your family, and it is advertised to you that you'll get more money. And you do. Fast forward now, so I've built time back with X amount of years now with my children, fine, and they're here week on, week off. And finally, my ex has gone to the CMS and told them that, okay, we've got 50-50 shared care. So week on, week off. Brilliant. Then what happens? They review the case, they agree to it, and they take more money. So they take more money from me because I have more time. They know she has less time and give her more money. In what bloody dimension are we living in where that is right? That is normal. You speak to people, whether it be your MP, the media, other people. No one gives a shit. And there's other people out there. It's not just me. This is the thing. If it's just me and it's an F up on their side, okay, it's annoying, but eventually we get somewhere. But it's not. It's thousands, hundreds of thousands even. 95% of whom are men. Why? Weaken a family unit. And on top of that, a DEO afterwards, I've been on one for over a year, even though all payments are made, fictional arrears have been added, that it's just bollocks because it's been coming out as a DEO. So you come out of it, and then to get off the DEO, you then have to do a direct debit to them where they still make their fees for 6 months. So in this case, it appears they've upped it to make sure that, or in their eyes, that I do not pay or cannot afford to pay. So then I'm back on the DEO where they still make their 24%. And what? You got to do that for another year? It's a recurring cycle. You speak to people, they don't give a damn. It's corrupt. The whole thing is corrupt. And the only people that can change it, because they're the actual customers of CMS, are the people that applied. In 95% of cases, again, the women, the mothers. But they're making more money, so why are they going to say, well, no, hold on. And don't be wrong, there's probably a few out there that have gone, you know what, actually, no, this ain't right. I just want them to have the kids, so I want blah, 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 whatever. Right? Fair enough. But still, right. I'm getting irate. I need to go. Right. Goodbye. Right. I did actually forget to say that we need people to come together, share as much information to other people that aren't going through it, from experience, people under the CMS that are being abused, whether that be the receiving parent where they just don't give a damn because it's too awkward, to your paying parent that suddenly you found the highest bridge ever and you've decided to have a once-in-a-lifetime experience where no one's ever done it again, right? That's how serious this is. We can't forget, as much as I'm cheesed off, there are people out there with no support network whatsoever. They've lost everything, and that's the end. That's how serious this is. We need to stick together. So what I'm going to ask, again, is please, if you have any issues with the CMS, right, and for all I know, maybe it's even a good service, but there's a couple of niggly bits they've got wrong and you've gone whatever and they've corrected stuff. I don't know. But the main one is how bad it can get. So I want those people with the flaws in the system where nothing's done, they felt like no one's been listened to, but obviously lucky enough they're still here, where you can tell your story. Please get in touch with the show, right? Please contact us at the_ECF@iCloud.com. Give us your details. I'll contact you. We'll do it through email. We can either set up a video or just even a phone call and just get some details. We just need, rather than saying, oh, well, there's this case that's happened or there's that case that's happened, we need the numbers. We need as many people as possible. And what I want to do at the moment, anyone that's following the media, and even like Rupert Lowe and all that, I know he's now trying to start his own party, etc. Who knows for that. I know Reform at one point were really big on like child maintenance and I all know it's wrong, and then GB News, they were cut off. But that sort of just died down. It's silent. If there's a big corruption in the service, even if you're not the party at the moment, get it to media attention, get it out. And this is what I mean. It's like even Reform, a controlled opposition. Because if there's that much fraud, then even with Richard Tice at the time, he's going on about people losing their lives and other things, committing suicide, he's still a public figure. If by some miracle he's hearing this, get it out there. Let people know. Go back on media. Don't shut up about it. People are dying, man. Dying. Kids missing at least one parent. Abuse of the system, the mental health issues. Or simply, are you a part of it? You say, again, like the other two main parties, what you want to hear, you get voted in. And it turns back that you get nothing. I ain't even got to mention Labour. Well, I have just mentioned Labour. Hey, they've reversed everything. The only thing I can think of they haven't reversed is the 16-year-old vote that yet hasn't happened. Which, by the way, they were told to in school. I mean, even my kids had done that. They've done like this Conservative and Labour thing. Again, only the two choices. And the whole lot voted Labour. Well, why? Because the options they were given were designed to make them basically vote Labour, so they had an outstanding win in the school. And a little bit later, guess what? Labour are dropping the voting age. Oh. Is the conspiracy theorist right again? We'll have to find out, won't we? Because the older people out there, when you go, how did that happen? We can't stand them. Look what's happened. All the people that haven't experienced life by any means, they don't have their own house. A lot of them not even started work, are now able to vote. They can't even go in the military at the moment. They can't fight for the country, but they can make their vote to affect you. How much your mortgage is. It's basic stuff. They haven't worked, they haven't got a house. They're still living with mummy and daddy. Or they're carers, if they've come from a broke family. It's sad, I know, but we need to get to the bottom of all the crap that's going on in the world. And it's not until we stick together with at least each individual crap that's going on, basically. Child maintenance is just a small fucking part of that, and that is really big. And yet no one's talking about it. So anyway, getting back to the point, sorry. Give us your account of what's going on with the CMS. All right, we want to air that. Obviously, you've got like the Evident Conspiracy Files. Obviously, we do podcasts on all audible platforms. We've not long started on YouTube. I think we've got something close to 500 subscribers, maybe. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate you all, really do. Obviously, in the global aspect of things, that's minuscule to get messages out. I understand that. But everything must start somewhere. So, if you haven't at the moment, please subscribe, please share it. This episode, obviously episode with CMS, any of it. We just need to get the message out there. But what I think we're going to do, there's a couple of us that I've been speaking to, and I think we're going to set up, at least on YouTube anyway, to start with, a new channel purely focusing on all the hidden stuff, the stuff that isn't in the media that is fed to people. So people voting without any other options. So whether that be child maintenance and don't get me wrong, years ago. So again, going back to the post office scandal, that was mentioned years ago, years and years ago. I remember hearing about it. Weren't overly awake back then, but I heard about it and thought, oh, hopefully they deal with it now. Then you never heard about it, forgot about it until many years later. Why all of a sudden? In fact, actually, even what's happening with that now, where people got paid out, I mean, people have basically died being classed as a criminal, when in actual fact it was just a complete scandal at the end. And we're hearing with even CMS, there's computer issues. Yes, the whole world is getting more technical, but you still have them. And somehow you've made money. Oh, we've lost all the files. Talking about files, even all this Epstein stuff. We're in the UK. Oh, ain't going to go too deep in that right now, but we'll go on to that in the future. Near future, I'd imagine. So you've had people that outside of these certain offices in the UK, in London, you've had the paper shredder vans there. What are they hiding? These child abuse gangs, sorry, I'll say it, rape gangs, whatever. People within our governments that are, and then slowly they're even filtering out bit by bit. Maybe the ones that haven't really complied and they've given their name and they've flicked out. If they've got shredder vans there to get rid of paperwork, any information they had is gone. We now won't know. Labour, very, very recently, had a vote. Right, they had a vote in Parliament to investigate these gangs. Well, the rape victims, whatever, the child abuse, right? Child abuse. Now, even if there was an area of doubt that's going on, oh, come on, no, the government's nothing to do with that. Hold on a minute, this is the children. Each MP in your constituency, right? So you've got a duty of care. Well, if that's going on, well, no, I've got nothing to hide, so investigate it. As a taxpayer myself in the UK, I'm happy with that. I will pay my taxes to actually fund that investigation. It's not an internal one. An outside source investigates it. They had a vote. They declined it in their masses. They're still expecting their tax. What does that say? That's corruption. They know what's going on, at least some of them. There are a few yayers. You know, you can hear them in the back like, yay, we want it. And then you got the nays, you know, the nays to the left or whatever. Even more in their masses. What do they know? What are they hiding? So even though I'm generally talking about the CMS, but this rabbit hole goes so much deeper. Now, as an individual, you might want to know what is at the end of that hole. Collectively, you will follow the masses when people say you're stupid, you're a conspiracy theorist. Don't listen to them. But I will give you a warning. When you start waking up to the corruption, even things like Pizzagate, if you don't know what that is, unless you want to start waking up, Google it. And even then, be aware that some of that information is controlled. Like, you will have to do your research. Around us, there is so much corruption, it is unbelievable. If you've ever watched The Matrix, in the real world there actually is a red and blue pill. Figuratively speaking, of course. You can either stay asleep and take the blue pill. But if you take the red pill, you will keep going down that rabbit hole and you will want action. And you will seriously start losing friends, even family that start thinking you're bonkers because they're too focused on football. Oh, ref, no, how blah, 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 I would have done this. Well, yeah, you're a ref, aren't you? Or Love Island. Things like that. People are so focused, but that's the stuff given to the plebs. You work to the bone, to the point. You get home, you have limited time to get yourself sorted, get your food done. If you've got kids, you've got to deal with them, blah, blah, blah. And at the end of the day, you sit down, you flick something on, and you couldn't give two flying Fs what's going on in the rest of the world. Collectively, we're stupid. If you have the time that they ensure that you do not have, you would wake up and you will realise your children are born into such, even a country. I mean, it's technically the whole planet. It is so corrupt. I mean, free speech at the moment, even this thing's probably going to be pulled off to a degree. It's going to be shadow silenced. I mean, seriously, try having that name. Like, literally, right, the Evident Conspiracy Files. Put something online that's got the word conspiracy in it. You will be shadow banned. Make another one that's called cat sneezing, and suddenly everyone sees it. You are shadow banned. They do not want information out. If you're watching this, to be honest, it's because you're in pursuit of more information. But this is why I've asked, please share. Not just this, but other content that you see. Things that are of interest, is share it. There'll probably be people that say you start sharing stuff to Facebook. Oh, come on, mate, you keep going down that route, blah, 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 blah. No, people need to wake up. We're in this world, go down the rabbit hole. And it's only collectively, when we wake up, we will see change. Anyway, I've had my bit of a rant, because I'm cheesed off. But seriously, get in touch with the show. I want to hear your stories to do with the CMS. And quite frankly, if you've got any other stories of any other form of corruption, governmental, that can be in the UK, it can be in the US, where we've got nearly half of viewers and listeners. We've got, trying to picture off the top of my head, about 1,200-ish, just over, listeners on Apple Podcasts. That's one of our main sites. We're nearly at 50% US from there, so I appreciate all you people abroad, basically, because even in China, I can only assume they speak English. Thank you to everyone that listens in. Thank you to everyone that supported the show and you've actually sent in your money. I'm not asking for that now, but of course, if you do, I ain't going to say no. We obviously do appreciate any form of support, and especially when it comes to what we will be doing shortly is getting people on. The more of a carrot we can wave in front of them, the better class of people we can get on and talk about things. We're trying to even get up to government scale with stuff. Anyway, I'm still just babbling on. Thank you to everyone that's obviously, again, supported us. And, in regards to CMS, let's hope this is the year of change. There's a lot going on in the world. Together, we will get there. And children are involved. God bless.